Hi guys, Jeff Westfall here with another Boxing for the Martial Arts lesson. Today's lesson is, if you can throw, you can punch. If you can't throw, if you have a terrible throwing motion, that's okay, we can work with that. But there are a lot of Americans who know how to throw a ball. We're a baseball country, or we used to be at least. And still, dads show their sons how to throw a ball when they can. Gym teachers should have taught you how to throw a ball. Most of you, while you may not be able to throw as well as a pitcher on your high school's baseball team, you probably wouldn't want to let any one of your friends take a baseball and throw it at your head. So you understand the value and the power of the throwing motion. Punching is not really fast pushing. It's not even like really fast pushing. That kind of is exactly the opposite of what we want. Pushing is more and more and more tense the harder I push. Throwing, I need to be relaxed in all but a very few muscles. I can't let go of whatever I'm throwing in the middle of my motion, so I have to hold it, but that doesn't take much. You look at a good baseball thrower, their wrist is loose as they're getting ready to throw that ball. You don't see them squeezing that ball as hard as they can like they want to leave fingerprints on it. That's going to be a terrible throwing motion. Punching should be similar. Now, fortunately, you don't have to worry about your grip with punching. Let me give you a quick demonstration of what I'm talking about. Here's an oak staff that my buddy and fencing teacher, John Yarger, made for me. He cut this down by hand a long time ago. I'm just going to hold it between two fingers, like this. Now, got this wood across the studs here. That was not a thrusting motion. That was a throwing motion. I kept my grip loose and turned my body as I would if I were throwing a spear, but I just held on and aborted the motion. That's a powerful motion. This thing doesn't weigh that much. So if I pushed it at you, I'd have to really get set up and really work hard to do a lot of damage. But if I could throw that thing at you, hit you in the center of the skull with this thing, it's going to do a ton of damage. Now, our forearm and our fist is the spear that we're throwing when we're punching. So this stick is a little longer, a little thinner, but it's kind of comparable. I still, even staying very relaxed, can pop this board very hard. That's significant. I'm barely using any effort. I'm not trying to get a lot of power. I'm just relaxing as I would if I were playfully throwing a ball from left field to home plate and just turning my body the same way I would if I were throwing. If you can do this, you can punch hard. If this is something, as I said earlier, that's outside of your experience, if you just don't feel like you have a good throwing motion, that's okay. That's okay, not a problem, but we can sort of supercharge your punching education if you already know how to throw a ball well. So as we go into any of our punches, I want you to watch the relaxation part of the punch. When we get that stretch across the shoulder like you would get with the throwing motion to a degree, to get what I call the stretch in the middle of the punch. We'll get into this more in future lessons. So today was just to give you an idea. If you already have ideas about how to throw jabs and crosses and hooks and uppercuts and overhands, we'll try applying, if you aren't already, this idea of relaxing during the punch as if you were throwing a ball. Picture yourself on an uppercut, throwing a ball as high up as you can throw it. Picture yourself on an overhand, slamming a tennis ball or a baseball or a medicine ball off the concrete. And same thing, you can imagine you're throwing a ball. Now, of course, because of the elbow position, that's a little different. But I'm still throwing this spear. Boom. I'm just making it come from a different configuration rather than cocking it back like this. But the motion of my shoulder is the same. And I've got that stretch that waits, and then it goes out. If that little pause isn't there, now of course when you go fast, boom, you know, you don't have that awareness of the stretch because it's happening fast. But in a perfect world, that's where we want it to go. We want there to be an explosion that forces the muscle into a stretch and then a release, and you get much more power with a lot less effort. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time for Boxing for the Martial Arts.